Welcome to Storytime with Gena. I'm your host, Gena, and this evening, as always, I am joined by Spangle Bear.
Hello.
And again this evening, we have Greg Lentz.
Yes.
And as an extra special guest, we have Mrs. Spangle Bear. Speaking to the microphone, Samantha.
Hi.
Samantha is joining us this evening because I demanded another vagina, because I was tired of the sausage fest that is always Storytime with Gena. Particularly when I let Greg Lentz open his mouth.
Whoa. Watch it.
Hey, Maya comes on every once in a while.
Right. Well, I at least once this evening I've had to threaten to rub my scunch on Greg just to keep him quiet.
No, she did rub. There was no threatening about it.
That happened.
It was a
Yes.
hover situation.
The bleach that I will need on these shorts is not small amount.
So, super exciting tonight. I have a weapon or a tool, as you want to call it. I have a hands-free device that is making my microphone hover. So if you hear it wiggle, it's because Spangle Bear is like mildly anal about where it's positioned.
Well, no, it's generally, so the audience can hear you.
Yeah.
This
semantics.
This being a radio program and all, Maya and I had a long discussion this week about your mic technique. So,
Aw,
we fixed
my
it.
mic technique?
Yes.
There's a technique involved in micery?
Yes.
Excellent.
Of course there is.
Mrs. Spangle Bear, what did you and the ladies at work today decide Spangle Bear's new nickname was?
Tackhead.
Which is awesome. We decided it meant what?
It means... You know what? I get accused of enough racism, so I'm going to let you guys fill them
Greg's
in.
just going to reveal to us what Urban Dictionary said tackhead was.
A girl who has to essentially tack in her weave. It's so bad.
So we've decided that for whatever
It's a very
reason...
urban phrase.
Yeah, okay, urban. That's a very polite way of saying it's related to the African-American community.
Yes,
See,
in their
but
vernacular.
that was even politer than...
I know, it's ridiculous.
So we're all saying that Chris's weave is bad. So we're all clear. It's a crappy
agrees.
weave.
Everybody agrees you need to have it rewoven.
My wife came home. She goes to beauty school. She works for a large multinational bank during
So
the
she's
day.
exceptionally girly.
And then she works at beauty school at night. She goes to school, and she comes home, and she's like, honey, what's a tackhead? Like, I'm sorry, honey, I'm not down. I do not understand.
I don't even think she asked. I think she just straight called you out.
Yeah, you are, honey, you are a tackhead. That is what I
You
recall.
are a tackhead.
She likes to make up names. What's your favorite made-up name that she calls me?
I'd say Beezle. It's a mixture of a beetle and a weasel. Word.
I love Beezle.
Wow.
Honey, are you drunk already?
I'm getting there.
Hooray.
Hooray.
We should also mention that Mrs. Spangle Bear has a work-related injury. She is in a metal silver, like Tin Man's cast on one finger because she pulled a muscle cutting hair.
I think so, yes.
That's amazing to me. Like, I never considered, like, the hazards, physical hazards of cutting hair, but I guess that there are some involved.
True.
I love this because Greg is silent and just nodding. And
No,
in
actually, my
agreement.
sister went to beauty school and was a hairstylist for a while, and her hands used to be so cut up, and she would get the weirdest illnesses because their hands would be cut.
Wow.
And while she was in school training, you don't exactly touch the high-end client's hair.
Oh.
So whether or not it was washed is a 50-50 chance at best.
You
Oh,
get
I
some.
remember.
You get some real gems coming into beauty
Yes.
school for $4
Yes.
haircut night.
Okay. Yeah, my mom went to beauty school, and I remember a horror story with some family that like 3 of the kids sat down in chairs, and they went to clip, and 2 of the stylists came up like squealing because there was such a bug in the hair that it was like blood.
Oh,
like,
my.
I forget whether if it was like scabies or lice,
tick.
but yeah, no, like there was such infestation in each of these children's hair that the clippers were covered in blood.
Oh god.
Hair
Oh,
and
my
infestation
gosh.
should never go hand in hand.
No.
Oh, and her school is just a stone's throw away from Beech Grove too, so
Oh,
it's
wow.
pretty terrible. Yeah, she had an outbreak of MRSA at school recently.
Ouch. Seriously.
Yes.
What is going on with MRSA? There's so many superbugs out there.
I don't know. It was like 9 people, and basically they came around and said, sanitize everything. MRSA's going around, and we clock in
Holy
with
shit.
handprints. So it was messed up.
She's been sick the whole time because they clock in with like a fingerprint, and so every hair that they've touched all day is on that keypad for the last 15 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then an outbreak of MRSA goes around, which is what my grandpa lost a leg from.
Jeez.
So she walked in the door and said,
yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take a shower.
Immediately.
and I was like yeah.
Sanitize.
Where's the decontamination chamber?
Yes.
I'm going to go watch.
You should make the new girls lick that as hazing.
Oh, wow. That would be awesome.
My God.
That would be sweet.
Get you some MRSA.
I'm sitting here like, you should get hazard pay. Greg's
No.
like, you should become a social terrorist.
Yes. Yes.
So I didn't really have very many show topics in mind tonight. I just wanted to get together and talk. I've been kind of low energy, I guess. I've been house sitting for a friend who is interviewing for a job in Washington, D.C., and she's got a really awesome dog. So it's been me, 2 kids, and like a German Shepherd for damn near a week with like no other adult interaction outside of the office, where my work wife has kind of been a cunt. I gotta tell you. I'm getting to the point.
Want to do a
where-
plug?
Okay.
No, let's not mention.
No, we won't mention names. I'm just saying we're having a generalized disagreement, and we're trying to come to terms with our communication style. So just to break it down without breaking it down, basically Deathmatch Cell Block broke out in my office today.
Oh.
And I'm going to go ahead and say I won. But so anyways, that's been, you know how that'll get under your skin,
Oh, yeah.
and that'll wear you down a little, and staying at somebody else's house, foreign territory. And I took her to the airport, and I had to get her there at like 4 a.m.
Ugh.
And the night before I was up packing to go there, and again, I didn't go to sleep until like 4:30. So my sleep schedule's all screwy, and then Spangle's like, let's make some audio broadcasts. And I'm like, yeah, we ought to. Actually, he was like,
No.
you can take a week off.
I know. I said, hey, don't worry about it. You don't have to come down. It's no big deal. Greg, Creighton, and I have done it many times by ourselves. It's cool.
And I was like, you'll fail.
And she's
Yes.
like, no. Greg
Actually-
said in the chat, I'm bringing pizza.
And Gena was like, I will be there.
60 miles round trip for pizza. I'm there.
Absolutely. But he did not put mushrooms on it, so
I asked, and no one responded in my defense.
I did too. I responded.
I know, but it took you like 20 minutes.
Oh, well, that's when I saw it.
Maybe if you weren't doing
I'm sorry you're-
extracurricular activities.
I was driving.
I'm sorry your free pizza wasn't good enough.
It wasn't. What's up with that crust?
Just like a liberal.
I'm not going to put them on blast, but that crust is like...
Well, you also microwaved it, and you can't microwave
The
pizza.
first one was yuck, though. That crust is questionable at best.
She's an
Jack's
elitist.
Pizza.
She is a
I just said I wasn't
elitist.
going to drop it. I mean, yeah, my
Jack's
food's got to be
Pizza.
edible. I guess I'm a...
No, if you're on the
Elitist.
south side, this is the one of the best. Brazzini's by far is the best
Duh.
pizza on the south side.
It's
There's,
not like I brought you like one of those little Caesars that are ready all day for $5.
You know what? A pizza would have at least had some sort of like flavoring to it. This
but
is like a cracker with tomato sauce, a shitload of salami, and like government cheese.
Government.
You need
Government.
to leave because
You-
Jack's Pizza is amazing. No. Okay, it is. It is so good. It's,
Have you never had Chef Boyardee?
I'm not a no.
Totino's?
That sauce is delicious.
Oh my god.
See, I'm not a huge crust fan in general.
Okay.
Okay,
I
and-
did see you like dissecting it and eating the
But
crust
see,
and
I
the toppings
love
separately.
Oh,
So
but
weird.
see, the cheese and the
all
pepperoni
the time.
and is under the cheese, and then the sauce is delicious. And I could just eat the cheese. Like I really just order the pizza, not for the crust, but for the cheese. But I'll give you the crust it's just standard. It's it's not flaky or kind of chewy. I mean, it's thin crust. It's not supposed to be. It's not. Samantha,
It's good. I love it.
All right, well, good. We'll let her love it.
get that stuff with bacon.
Bacon.
You get bacon, pepperoni,
Bacon.
mushroom.
I would
extra
eat a
cheese.
bacon crust instead of that crust. Like that would be
A
exceptional.
bacon crust.
That's food porn right there.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Bacon crust would be good, like extra crispy.
Hell yeah.
You know what I bought today?
Like weave it, huh?
a box of the new cupcakes.
I was gonna say, speaking of food porn, Spangle Bear totally wrote a song parody today. It made me giggle in my heart place.
I gotta be honest, the new cupcakes, I'm disappointed. I have sad news to report.
What?
The cupcakes are about 20% smaller.
Bitches.
The frosting is not delicious. It doesn't peel off like it used to.
What?
It's
They
sort of
tampered with it?
overly sweet and processed.
Gross.
And the spongy cake, which used to be moist,
right?
is
He
now
said moist.
Granny's moist.
oh, you bastard. I hate the word moist. And then the cake is a little bit dry. There's like
Aw.
40% less creamy filling. It
What?
still is delicious. I still had 5 out of the box of 12, but not what it
In
once
one
was.
bite.
Not what it once was. I'm very
Damn.
disappointed.
I mean, you can't
And
be
he
that
had written
mad.
music, guys. He had taken The Sound of Silence and written The Sound of Sucrose.
You should get that and sing it.
It was amazing. We'll post it somewhere
I'm
whenever
not
we have a
gonna
web page.
You should sing it.
I'm not singing it. I don't remember what you said. All I remember
I get
is
the
"Hello,
words.
cupcakes, my old friend. It's time to eat you once again." And I was smitten.
I'll find it.
It was amazing,
He's
It
sort of
was
like
pretty
Charlie
funny.
Sheen writing jingles for for food products.
right?
Uh,
My mouth was watering. I wanted the cupcake, but now that I find out it's all small and shriveled and
It's a
not
lie.
filled with cream, I know it sounds kind of like they went to the places that were manufacturing the generic product and placed their name on something that is considerably different yet comparable.
charge a higher price.
Right? Shame on them.
Yes.
If that's the case, that's just a speculation.
Okay, here.
All right.
Hello, cupcakes, my old friend. It's time for me to eat you again. I love your white, creamy filling. I love your squiggle chocolate frosting. And then I didn't do the rest. I said, with the sounds of sucrose.
I was so.
Do you want a divorce?
Crazy.
I want a record
So
contract.
weird.
Yes.
Hey, I'm a good singer. You should hear me do Hey Jude.
Oh, nah.
He is a good singer. But
Speaking
that
of-
song lasts forever.
That's a considerable amount of nanas.
Just like this marriage.
They're on round 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
They've almost made it 2
The
whole
sequel.
years.
No, I said, and you wonder why we're on our second and final year of marriage.
You're just getting started. Go ahead and pick a fight with her. I guarantee you, you'll be clearing it up in about 55, 60 years.
No. She likes to bring up things that happened the first month we dated.
Right, that's what I'm saying. She's gonna enjoy keeping you around until you're 90.
When we argue, she can't remember where she left her keys, but she can remember the time I sat on a bed with a girl. It's
True.
like
Whoa.
years and years ago.
What are you doing sitting on beds, you fucking bastard?
Exactly.
You should have
when you're
known
dating,
better.
yes.
I
Greg,
love you,
help.
Samantha.
I have avoided the noose for this reason exactly.
You know what? He has a whole setup that you ought to ask him about so we can get off of me and
Nope.
But here's the fact. Let's face the fact. She probably has.
No, I mean, we should go to Greg now.
We should absolutely not. Greg is not interesting at all.
I love it. So, Greg, tell me things about Greg.
It involves a lot of memberships to pay sites and
Greg,
pants
ladies
off
and
in front of the computer by 10:01.
Exactly. Speaking of pants off, ladies and gentlemen,
But
you should know.
I almost did pants myself.
I saw Greg's panties.
Yes.
Greg stood up to adjust himself and went to put his wallet in his back pocket. And ladies, it was so hefty in that wallet that his pants went whoop.
Yeah.
That is the exact excuse that Mr. 1%er used. He goes, I'm sorry, my wallet is too heavy.
Yeah.
No, it's not because of that, I assure you.
It was quite amusing. But anyway, I got to see those panties, and I got to say, thumbs up.
Yeah, you like them?
Boxers or briefs?
They were definitely brief.
Yeah, they were.
Good. See, I like the control during the day and the comfort at night.
They were nearly bikini.
Nice.
Nearly
just
bikini.
saying.
No, it's the way they were pulled down.
They
that
were
looked
boy cut
bikini.
bikini.
I wear female boy shorts. It says juicy on the ass.
Yeah.
Aw. So, Mrs. Spanglebear, tell us about life as a lady. Like, what kind of TV shows do you watch? What kind of things do you do? What's a woman all about these days?
Okay, TV shows. I'd have to say Chris is getting me into a lot of the TV shows.
Otherwise, what do you watch?
Otherwise, The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, Mistresses.
Oh, what's
BBC
that?
version is the best.
What is that?
It's amazing.
BBC means.
Well, it's all these mistresses, and pretty much
I have a
they're
password for
married
that.
or they go cheat, and then they kind of hide from their husbands. So it's kind of weird, kind
Why-
of drama, Lifetime.
Scandalous. Yeah.
I have to ask you why you like that show. That sounds a little troubling.
Oh, wait, so
'Cause
we
it's
can't
just
talk about your
drama.
improper sitting habits, but we can go into her television viewing concerns.
I'm not sitting in properly. So you can see my moose knuckle. We'll get to your sitting habits later.
Yeah.
I am very ladylike almost all the time.
You only shit on the floor in the middle of the last episode.
It was the table and it was made of glass.
Okay, Danny Thomas. You've done everything but. So, TV shows, honey. What do you. But. When it's time to wind down at night, what do you really like to turn on and watch?
Don't say Kardashians. Don't say
Usually
Kardashians.
Lifetime,
Lifetime, and why is
Wow.
that?
Golden
because
Girls?
it's based on a true story.
That's right.
Wow.
Like,
She loves walking in and she goes, "You should watch this. It's based on a true story."
yes,
They all are.
Now, how does anybody know? What is the criteria to be able to say something is based on a true story? Because I know many of those are loosely based.
One character has the same first name.
right?
Yeah.
Like
true.
this is Billy.
Yeah.
And it might say based on a true story at the beginning.
But she considers them documentaries. Like, she really does. She's like,
It's like the Blair Witch Project.
right.
I bet there is an
Yes.
entire phenomenon, especially amongst ladies that are more advanced in age, that probably do cherish the Lifetime documentary drama.
Oh.
I remember that Hungry Like the Wolf. What was that? It was not Farrah Fawcett. It was like Goldie Hawn. I don't know. One of the blondes from the 70s or 80s was reenacting this event where a mother shot her children in the backseat of a car at point blank range while Hungry Like the Wolf was on the radio, and they made it out as it was a documentary. It was late 80s, early 90s, and it was incredibly crazy.
No,
I gotta watch that.
Yeah. It sounds like when MTV used to play music videos.
I gotta see that.
Do you remember back when MTV
Oh,
had music?
It was the
You-
greatest.
You could sit
Carson
here.
Daly?
Mysteries?
You could sit here and you could come up with the stupidest plot on the planet, but as long as it is framed within a Lifetime movie, my wife will go, "That sounds amazing."
Do they still play the one that had the girl from 90210? What's her name? Shannon Doherty, and she was selling babies.
They might have that one on.
That one's wicked crazy too. The girl was getting pregnant to sell her babies.
Oh, wow.
But see, I can't get anywhere near the TV when those things are on because you watch 5 minutes and then the next thing you know, you're like, "What's gonna happen? Is she gonna keep the baby?"
It's crack.
It's
total crack.
You chime in at Pregnancy Pact. He was like, "What's all these girls doing having sex and stuff?" And I was like, "Well, they made a pact and they're all gonna get pregnant." He's like, "Who would do that?" I was like, "Keep watching."
Is that so they all jumped off the ovarian bridge together?
Right.
I
Yes.
mean,
It's a true story.
okay. So how
Based
old
on-
were they?
It's like American
They're
Pie,
a
but for
teenager.
females.
This is a true story.
Again,
was-
it's based on a. Now listen to
No,
Chris.
it's like-
This
Yeah,
is a
right? Yeah.
true story.
Yeah.
it,
This
no,
was
it,
a documentary.
it was somewhere in the Northeast, Connecticut or New Hampshire or something, and Massachusetts. One of them.
So this wasn't even Beach Grove or somewhere
No,
that would be.
It was their version of Beach Grove, and these girls got pregnant. One of them got pregnant. The friend got pregnant, so they all had a conversation about how they would get pregnant in solidarity, and 18 girls had babies. 18 girls.
So, what age are we talking about? Because
Like-
teenage is a decade.
Sophomore to senior year of high school. So
Yikes.
16 to 15 to 17 or 18.
Okay, so you were outraged that they were having sex or that they were having children?
I was outraged that they didn't put that in the movie. No, I really wasn't outraged. I don't care.
Well, it's just
I'm okay
interesting.
with premarital sex is all right with me.
Aw, did you see that? Spangle Bear just put down the cross for 5 minutes.
It did, right?
I became a liberal.
Okay,
He got a little liberalized.
Uh-huh.
I was out one time with friends, and one of them received a text that was just fucking inflammatory for me. So, because it was racist and sexist simultaneously, and it made me kind of go crazy.
But
so
Greg,
share it
after
with you
knowing
now.
Gina for like 2 months, wouldn't you say her radar's a little sensitive?
Okay, well,
Oh
listen.
my.
Let me say it first, and then to come
my.
back and tell me whether it's racist.
Gina, would you
and-
mind bringing me a napkin from the kitchen? What do I look
You-
like? A slave?
Bullshit! You guys had me lifting boxes, and I was doing it, and then realizing that you guys were getting a kick out of it. It's the
No, that's
opposite.
just because I'm lazy, and he was laughing.
Nah, because Greg's a dick. Greg knows why Greg was laughing.
Hey, oh yeah, I'll totally. I have no qualms with being called a sexist. I believe in clearly defined gender roles.
All right, so
Okay,
you-
so here's
you
the
got
joke that came
A
in, right?
racist text. It was describing a black
I didn't
car.
get it. My friend got it while he was out with me, and so he decided to read it because he thought it was funny. And it said something to the effect of 10-year-old girl in China loses her virginity, and the headline reads, "Some young hoe." And so you just
That's
laughed.
not funny.
It's
No,
you just
but
laughed and said it's not
That's
funny.
comedic laziness. Is
Okay,
what
it's
that is.
comedic
I laughed
laziness.
because
It's
it's
a pun
kind
of
of
it.
stupid, but it's not even close to
Okay.
the airplane pilots the other day.
Something Wong.
Holy fook.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Oh,
Were
I'm
you
sorry,
offended by
all my
that?
Asian friends.
do not even act like you're superior because
I raps. I do raps. I raps a lot. But
Because-
that is my one guilty pleasure is that I raps.
you
But see, Asians, I feel like it's not bad because they're doing well in society. They're like hardly even a minority that's reached out to.
but there is. I mean, like, do you guys remember the young lady who went apeshit crazy on YouTube about how Asians in the library were sucking
Oh,
at the
yeah.
teat of society? Basically, like she needed her mouth smacked a little, or at least washed
Right.
out with soap.
she was legit racist.
Right. Oh, she went crazy. I mean, there is racism against Asians, and to be honest with you, not Asians are all doing well in society. I mean, think about Chinese are Asians too, and there's a lot of them living in poverty, not doing so great.
No, I mean there always have been, but I mean that is definitely one group that is they're very entrepreneurial. You know, even
This
though
is so stereotypical, and I love it. I
So how
love
did
it.
we get to,
So
like, the
anyway,
text?
All right, so the text, some young hoe, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, so are you saying 10 years old is young to be losing your virginity? And then I'm like, do we have this conversation? Because it's me, a really good friend of mine, another really good friend of mine, and her boyfriend, and there's some weird dynamics there, and I'm just like, do we really have this conversation? And I didn't. I just kept my mouth shut, and so
Hey.
now we're gonna go around the room, Greg.
no, I was saying that was my guess.
For me? No, I'm asking for you.
Oh no, 15.
15. All right. Spangleberry.
What are we talking about?
When did you lose it? When did Samantha hold you down, tie you up, and take it away?
I don't want to talk about this, and I know she won't want to.
Just drop an age.
No,
Round of-
yeah, you
give
can't-
me
you
a
can't
range
ask a married
in
couple
between
that.
the age up. Why can't you ask?
You know what?
ju-
Add them together and divide by 2, and let that
Okay.
be both your answers.
Right.
I just know that she won't want to answer that question.
Okay. You won't want to answer like the roundabout age when you lost it or when you experimented.
Oh, I don't care.
Ah, see,
Oh.
Spangleberry, you're all uptight.
Maybe Chris doesn't want to hear it.
Chris is like, there were
Chris
others
doesn't wanna
before
hear
me.
things.
I don't. I mean, if you listen to the latest Creating Maya, these subjects make me uncomfortable.
He does squirm like a little girl. It's very funny.
So what
That's
is
not
it,
sexist
honey?
at all.
Yeah,
Pot, kettle. That's racist to say too.
there aren't girls who squirm and wiggle.
Yeah, pot, kettle, African American.
He totally went there.
Melissa Harris Martinez.
Yes.
Ouch.
So we're not touching.
So
in.
Samantha doesn't mind. Tell me an age.
19.
19. Holy shit.
Good girl.
Bear.
Yep.
Approximately. Also 25?
Oh, like 32.
32? Excellent.
So now this is the
Spangle's
fun
still
part.
waiting.
We're all going to
Still
bet on
waiting.
when Gina's is, and whoever gets
I'm-
closest wins something.
I'm married,
Okay.
so I'm still waiting.
Yep. All right. So your bet on Gina.
Oh, Gina?
Can you have sex as a fetus?
She's so liberal in every other area. There's got to be one area that Gina is like uptight in. Although she is free with her body, she will milk her child at any location.
I do not milk
At a
my
libertarian
child.
convention.
I feed my child.
Like
Oh, I guess I did do that, didn't I?
First time I met you,
you're,
as you were drinking wine, no less.
half
That
of
was half a glass
I
of
know.
wine.
half of us are like sitting in the middle of the Libertarian Party convention, and Gina's like, "Here's my booby."
No, Gina's like, hey, hungry baby, would you like to eat things?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
So what-
tawdry.
But I would say Gena is. I'm gonna say awkward teenager, 17.
Oh wow, Greg.
I'm gonna say 12.
Wow, that's like child rape.
Mrs. Spanglebear.
I'm going to say 15.
All right, so I began experimenting with neighborhood boys, and you all know you did it, Greg. You know your neighborhood boy was probably the cutest.
Oh, we're talking about boys. That's 7.
Right, so I began around that age with the experimenting, and I don't think I was beyond like 9 when I finally took it there.
Took the V card.
Yeah, I'm saying
9?
I'm saying for sure. How old are you in 6th grade?
Oh no, you're like 11.
That's intense. That's
Yeah.
like
But it's not child rape because it's 2 children going there together.
right.
So it's like, am I
Wow.
raping him or is he raping me? You go.
Can a man
figure.
ever be raped?
I mean, probably. Yeah.
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 I mean,
There's
ask a
lots of things
priest.
on
You should
Lifetime.
definitely consult a
Not a
clergyman
priest,
about
a
that.
minister. I'm a minister.
There's some things on Lifetime.
There's a Lifetime documentary
Yes.
that covers that.
I'm just saying 9 is like
I mean,
In
so
America, very
but
young.
that's like 3 years from Vinny.
don't. Okay, so the first time I let Vinny out of my sight to go outside and play by himself, he comes back and he's like, "Mommy, I'm just gonna say neighbor girl. I put some mulch down the neighbor girl's panties." And I'm like, "What now?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry. She liked it. It's okay."
Gosh.
So I obviously cannot let my 6-year-old out unattended. It was the very first time I let him go to our little neighborhood playground without
He's already
me.
hollering at tack heads.
For sure. It did not even take him. It did not take my kid an hour and a half to get in somebody's panties.
Well, she had a large bush and it needed mulch, and there you
No,
go.
she's a very, very sweet, tiny little child. So I was really waiting for the knock on the door from her parents or social services to consult with my son's landscaping progress.
Landscaping.
Oh, good night. So yes, at the very tender age of 9, I did play and experiment with things that I think that many adults now find to be like titillating and taboo. Like for some guys, I know that there's this like, and you guys know probably better than I do, like a fixation on the concept of a 3-way. Right?
I've never had that, I can say, honestly. That's never
Honestly?
been a thing for me.
I'm proud of you,
I'm
Greg.
not attracted to the whole
I will let you
thing.
get me a sandwich, Greg.
Oh, will you? Great.
Spangle Warehouse, has it never occurred to you? Like,
Never
is that-
enough. Never enough.
You'll be
Spangle
like
needs the
Caligula with a
full-blown
harem
orgy.
of women in Rome.
All of them Samantha clones.
Yes.
Samantha, how about you? Has that ever been a thing for you, the 3-way? Is it like a...
No.
No, see, and I just
Definitely
figured
not.
it wasn't for me because I got it out of the way really young, and so it was like, there's nothing fancy about that.
You like, it's been just one continual downhill,
See,
like,
that's
since
an
9.
after-school special.
Yeah.
By now, are you like bring in the donkeys?
No, actually, by now I'm like very extensive screening policy, very exclusive rights. Like you have got to, basically, you've got to really be something special for me to give a fuck about going there with you. Period.
See, that's just boring.
No.
No?
No, to me, I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's a level of self-respect or a level of, like, for me, I guess physical love and emotional, like romantic love, are mutually exclusive. So you've got to be something pretty incredible to kind of win my heart and my mind. And then my body's just like, then it's ridiculous. You know, when you first fall in love and you're just like, I don't know if you guys did it,
Do you
but
remember that, honey?
I do.
Very good answer.
This is actually a really funny story.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I fall in love, if it's unrestricted, we like shack up and somebody loses a job because we don't leave bed enough because we just spend all of our time together.
Lose a job, you mean have to be held back in the 3rd grade? You know that
You're
is.
not-
Oh,
It's not like it was
oh boy!
continuous.
I feel like Santa came on July 18th, 2013.
You're not going to make your shift at McDonald's?
Uh-huh.
Aw,
Oh man.
McDonald's.
Uh huh. You should tell the story though. Totally about
I
your
do. I
first
want to
date.
hear about how you fell in love.
How you got her?
Oh, how'd you win, Spiegelbear?
Which story? One word.
Recognition.
Do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, we first met at a bonfire. She worked at the Hendricks County Flyer, and I had some friends who worked there. A friend that I was hanging out with a bunch, and I worked at WXNT, the radio station. And she was living with a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, the roommate.
Yes, definitely. It was like Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn breakup.
Oof.
Yeah.
Only there was no rekindling, so she hated his guts.
Ooh.
So, we talked and sat there and talked the whole night, and she seemed to be responding well, which it happens so rarely that I can spot it.
Spaghetti Bear's like jackpots.
Yeah. And so I was like, I looked at my friend Whitney. I was like, I think I got a chance. So we, I told her where I worked, so she tuned in and would listen to the radio station every morning and listen to me talk. And, what really cemented it, we're at Shapiro's on like our third date, and somebody walks up and it's like this 50-year-old old-timer. He's like, nah, man, hey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to say I love you on Abdul in the Morning. It's fantastic. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You have a good time. And
you got fanned?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Only time that ever happened, and I look at her, no lie, I go, happens all the time. You're gonna have to get used to it. And
it's my
like,
notoriety.
Oh, that's just gold, though. For girls, that is pure gold.
It was perfect. So, and she later admitted at some point that she never would have dated me had she not listened to me on the radio, because that gave her the chance to get to know me and get past my looks. To fall in love.
Your devilish, handsome looks.
So I'm just so good looking that it's hard to get past them.
You're striking.
People never get to know the real you.
I'm like John Hamm.
You're like the Dustin Hoffman Tootsie character.
I'm interesting looking.
You're interesting.
Did you tell him about your shirt you had on that night?
So I had given up because it had been 5 years since my previous girlfriend.
Girls were not on his horizon.
They're on my horizon. I just was like on a different planet for them. And so I wore a shirt that said, I may be big, but you're ugly and I can lose weight.
You wore that on a third date?
No, I wore
first time I met him.
No, this is how he landed her.
That's her first impression.
What on earth?
I wake up from a nap because I get up at like 5 in.the morning at that time, and I take a nap. I didn't even really want to go, but I figured there might be girls there, so I slipped on my best T-shirt. Which, if you look through my pictures, you can see a picture.
Your satchel.
I got my fanny pack.
Chloroform and all.
Man purse.
Don't worry about my fanny pack.
Yeah.
It looks a little rapey, but it's really cool.
And when I say it looks rapey, I mean it's a rape kit.
Yes.
Funnier than rape.
What's that smell? Oh, nothing. It's ether.
I've got a buddy who's not small in the least, and he's former military, and he used to sleep with a weapon beside his bed. And then one night he decided he was going to forgo that, and he put the weapon in his safe. And when I asked him why, he said, well, I devised a better plan. And I said, oh, really? I'm going to call him Jimmy. I said, oh, really, Jimmy, what's that? He said, if anybody busts through that door, because he was in a kind of rough neighborhood with a really high crime rate, he says, anybody bust through that door downstairs, I'm just going to stand here at the top of the stairs and scream, who wants to get raped? And I was like, Jimmy, I think that'll work.
Yeah.
I guarantee you I would drop my loot and run the fuck out
Oh,
the
God,
door.
yeah.
Ironically, that's how Maya introduces herself every time she comes over to my house.
Who wants to get raped?
Right. And I mean, he cast an intimidating shadow from the top of that stairs.
Yeah.
You would turn around and turn tail, no doubt.
You had an interesting run-in with Maya recently online.
Yes, I did. I
drama.
am a big fan of the Newsroom, and it debuted Sunday night, and I just put on Facebook. I was excited about it, and Maya, I did not know was a big fan as well. So she's like, that debuts tonight? And then she's like, oh, me and Emily are naked. Come over. And I'm like, what?
Wow. You're
one,
like, be
I'm a
right
Republican.
there.
I don't do these things, I just tap my feet in the courthouse bathrooms. I don't, go and do this. And then sure enough, she's like, blowjobs? ?
Oh, wow.
Maya just let you order in piecemeal.
My credibility as a minister is just going out the window.
Are you ordained, darling?
I am.
She
fancy.
really, that's how I know
didn't
she
know that.
likes you. So
Yeah, when Maya offers you blowjobs, it's really
It's out of love.
basically, you two are the ones that Maya likes.
right.
She can't stand me at all.
The rest of the world is
She's-
dead to Maya.
Maya likes me because I have equipment.
You're a strategic alliance.
Incidentally, so does Samantha.
Yeah. So, and Crichton.
Crichton.
Can't stand Creighton.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, he's a DC
He's
sellout.
a statist.
So,
She threatened today to blackmail me with the footage of me dancing on the Uncontrollables. It was so funny. She was like, I've locked it down. I don't think anybody else has burned a copy of it while it was streaming. She goes, I've got it on archives here and then here. And she names like 4 places she's got it archived. And I was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah, so when you get in the White House, I can totally...
That's your October surprise.
Right, I can totally blackmail you. And I was like, Maya, you're not going to need to blackmail me. You want something from me, you're probably on my staff if you don't fuck up between now and then. And I was like, furthermore, I've never done a single thing in my whole goddamn life I wouldn't show my grandma, so bring it. Try to blackmail me. Oh, you got naked pictures of me? That's cute. So do I. Let's see who can sell them and get the most money out of it.
I'm pretty sure this podcast comes back to haunt you at some point.
Oh, yes.
This podcast
For
comes
sure.
back to haunt me.
I
think this podcast will come back to grant me credibility as a human being.
I can just see you on your first day. Now, President Martinez, tell us about your policy to empower minorities in America. Something wrong.
Raps.
Yeah.
holy fook. I
That's
think
you guys. All I do is raff.
the only thing about that video of you dancing that's criminal is that you only have one move.
I have one awesome move.
Which is?
There are actually other moves. We did made Maya get involved, and we did fancy
She
arm
can do
things.
the fishing pole.
I can do the fishing pole.
She does the
I can do the
lawnmower.
shopping cart. The lawnmower.
Yes,
The
shopping
sprinkler.
cart, sprinkler.
A little bit Cabbage Patch.
Oh,
break it
my.
down.
Oh,
And then
my.
I did the booty jiggle.
You know what? I always doubted that your Southern Indiana whiteness until right now, and now
Oh,
it's just
wow.
shining through.
Well, I'm a dance teacher. I have other moves, but those are the fun ones.
Samantha's excited
Sorry,
because
retired dance teacher. Let me make that very,
Yes.
very clear.
we have 2 cats. One is Mittens, who is really friendly, loves people, likes to come out during the podcast. You've seen her and heard her on other shows. Muffins is like a scaredy cat, and all of a sudden she's come out and observing everybody.
Nice.
judging more than observing.
Really, yeah.
I can
judging.
see the judging in her eyes.
Why are these
Falling
people in my
asleep.
house?
Right.
Like, this cat hates people, but loves Samantha so much that at 9:59, Samantha gets home at 10 o'clock on the dot every night. So at 9:59, she trots herself out and waits for Mom. Me, I come home, laying on the bed. Fuck you, old man.
Deadbeat father.
Yeah, I could care less about you, but Samantha feeds her.
Aw.
Love
Fuck
you,
you, Muffins.
McMuffin.
Aw.
Love you, Muffy.
It's a sweet kitty. The only complaint I have about the cat is when it leaves half of its body weight on my mic stand.
Yes,
The
and
mic-
farts.
Oh my god, no, that wasn't a fart. That
What
was
that?
That was a nuclear ass bomb.
Something
Yes.
exploded in the middle of the last show, and I thought it was worse than that. Do you guys remember the Maya Belch a few
Oh,
weeks
my.
ago?
Oh no,
It
yeah.
blew that shit out of the water.
this
it was
was-
toxic waste.
There
coming
has
out of
been a
this
couple
animal.
occasions where the litter boxes are in the bedroom,
Oh.
and they dropped a bomb that was ridiculous. One of the 2 of them tonight, maybe both of them at the same
Please
time.
stop feeding them babies.
It was probably Mittens, and she probably ate an earplug or something.
What?
An
An
earplug.
earplug.
She usually eats earplugs.
Why?
What on earth for?
I don't know. She thinks that they're like food.
Yikes.
Like catnip or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wears earplugs at night.
Do you
So-
snore? Are you
No.
a snorer?
She
Wait a
just
second,
tries
wait a
to-
second, wait a second.
Just can't hear.
So, I gotta ask one more question. Something just occurred to me.
Something's wrong.
What? Something wrong. My rafts made it stop. So, here you are in a I'm with Stupid t-shirt. I forget what it was specifically.
I may be big, but you're ugly, and I can lose weight.
Okay, so here you are in a Charming t-shirt that says, worst episode ever.
Yeah.
And you have a fan.
Right.
How else did you win, the beautiful Miss Spangle? Tell me about your
Rapist
persuasions
wit.
to love.
Brilliance, electrifying personality. I don't know. Ask her.
I'm about to.
I-
you know that's my next
It's got to be a
step.
sense of humor. He's
I
a funny,
have-
funny guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a talent. I am able to get my way most of the time. I don't know. I just decided that
She's gonna tell me though. She should see the
Not
forehead
gonna take
wrinkle.
no for an
That's
answer.
just-
we were going to
She's
be.
like, nah.
I decided that we were going to be in love, and then we were in love.
and then it was,
It rubs the lotion on its skin.
or else it gets the hose again. So Precious, tell us what happened.
Dude, I would just say that I don't know. Like, he started acting like I was number one, and he would have the radio station and everything. But when we would go to events and everybody would come up to him, he would show me off, and he was like,
Aw.
"This is my girlfriend."
So he's proud of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
and I
I have very low. I don't know if I have low self-esteem or not, but in this particular area, when it comes to you really like me? What's wrong with you? So I'm like, and look, she likes me. Really?
Aww.
So yeah, I would say, at the beginning it was really hard for me to commit because
He's
I
a
actually the
goofball.
first time I ever saw Chris mad was actually telling me that we are going to throw your ex-boyfriend stuff out of this apartment, and this Bowflex system is going out in the hallway. If it gets stolen, I do not care.
I have no fucks to give about your Bowflex, homie.
Well,
Yes.
you guys
That's
probably
the first
know.
time I ever saw him mad.
You guys probably know me based on our interactions with all the podcast stuff that we do, and then the other thing that we do. I let a lot of things slide, but then it just gets to a certain point where you go, no, action needs to be taken, so we're going to take action, and everybody buckle up because this is going to happen now.
Shit's going down.
I'm sorry, Galt, you can't be on the podcast anymore. So her ex-boyfriend had been keeping stuff in her apartment, and it just was like, okay, he's never coming to get this. We're not waiting for him to schedule a time again. We're going to take his Bowflex that he's still making payments on. I'm going to rip it apart, and I'm going to throw it in the hallway.
I'm going to destroy his property.
Yes.
After 1 month, 2 months, or whatever, you want your room back. He doesn't want his stuff, so we're going to give him the option. We're going to set his stuff in the hallway. He's going to come get it, or the Mexicans are going to take it down the hall.
One or the other.
And that's not racist because
not racist because
Everybody knows Mexicans steal.
it is an actual Mexican family that took most of the stuff. So,
Oh, okay.
that's not racist
Okay.
because I observed it happening.
I did.
And I mean, free DVDs, CDs, like a whole Bowflex gym. Who wouldn't?
you knew it was going.
So
Well, there you go.
I let things go, but then it's time to just let's
So
get it
Spangle
going.
has a breaking point.
Oh,
get it
yeah.
going.
So was that what it was when he got all sexy and angry for you?
That and when
he
I
was
was left
defending
with
your
rent,
honor?
and I cared about not having enough money to buy people Christmas presents.
No, that's when I knew that I really liked her.
He came over with presents, and it was so sweet.
Aw.
So we decorated a Christmas tree together, and then he bought me presents and put them under the tree.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a peach.
You are a fuzzy
You're
little
a
tack
jewel.
head peach.
You're a diamond.
Has
I've
Greg
never,
Lynn's ever been in love?
I
I've never
have.
been more uncomfortable than this podcast.
Are you
I
really?
know. That's kind of
Oh.
why I did
Why?
it.
I know. I
Because
just am.
I love to see you guys interacting and having fun together, and so this to me was just an opportunity to force you guys to talk to each other.
Well, that's good though, because it gets hard.
I know. I've been there.
It
And
gets
you
hard.
got to come home every evening. That we once a week. You guys have to understand. Samantha comes home after working 2 jobs, being on her feet all night, and we're all sitting around drinking beer, snuggled up on a couch, recording a podcast. So I really wanted her to experience what it was that we were doing, and because this is
Yeah,
probably, if
I
you go
think
back
it's
and listen
pretty
to all
cool.
of them, this is probably the naughtiest show we've ever done.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I
this
think
is
it's
getting
pretty
deep.
cool. Now I kind of understand why you guys do what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's cool, and I get kind of bummed out when everybody leaves. I'm like, well, that's
Party over.
Nothing's on Lifetime. I'm going to bed.
She doesn't follow politics at all, and that's one of the things that I like is that when we talk, it's not about the stuff that I've spent all day talking about.
Right.
And so, we have a similar sense of humor, so our relationship is just a lot of funniness and goofing off. But she feels self-conscious because she can't sit in on Weird Libertarians and have a conversation because She doesn't
it's
know.
not her thing.
It's just not. Just like when her and her friends talk about hair products and things like that, I don't know what's going on.
You wouldn't be a
Tackhead.
tackhead if you did.
Right.
Right there, Greg.
I love it, Gena. Great minds. Great minds.
So, we do have, two different sets of interests, but we have similar sensibilities, so that's why we're able to make it, work. So,
Awesome.
Because everybody says when you get married, you've got to have the same things, you got to be able, but, we like the same things, we like the same type of stuff, so we go and do things like that, but, we don't sit there and talk about foreign policy. 'Cause
Right.
frankly, after,
Take off your panties and let's discuss foreign policy.
Right.
Let me tell you about what Liz Cheney said today, honey.
Right. Honey, do you know who Liz Cheney is?
No.
Don't. It's okay.
See?
Yeah.
But when it comes time to vote, ask us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do love about certain things that you were saying, just like examples. He made me vote my first year
Aw.
when we met.
You
He
got
was like,
her civically involved?
It's very
Good
important you
boy.
vote. I don't care who you vote for, but it's very important that you vote because you're a woman and you should vote.
Aw.
Did
I was like,
say
that was sweet.
You are a woman, you will vote.
Go vote and get me a sandwich.
But then he broke a tile piece on the table.
Because he found out who you vote for?
No, Obama won, so he
Aw.
broke a tile piece.
I did not.
I cried. I spent the day in bed crying when W got reelected.
No, I was mad because I was watching Obama be an idiot, but we have a tile, it's made of floor tiles.
8x8.
And I was upset, but the plate or the bowl slipped out of my hand and cracked the table, and she still thinks I'm I didn't break it.
Yeah, you broke it.
I did. I would admit it. What
Aw. I spent the day wallowing in bed when W was reelected. I was
Against
like,
Kerry?
oh, the world is over.
Really?
Oh, I cried like a baby. It was awful.
Man, you hated W that
Oh,
much?
my God, Len.
That's foreign to Greg.
Well, okay, let me explain to you why. I had just moved to California, and I was
he was the Antichrist there.
I was working in a law firm, and my stepmother was still out here, and she has a pretty good job. Out of everyone in my family, my stepmom is the only one that's really stable and doing well. And we talked politics once. Oops. Because I am left of Mao, and she is right of, I don't even know, help me here.
Genghis Khan.
Right of Khan, I mean, for sure. And so it is 1999, 2000. It must have been January of 2000-ish. No, wait, because I was in California, so it had to be May or June of 2000. And she is telling me that when we are attacked on U.S. soil, like with the Twin Towers last time, and she mentioned
So this was 04 then.
No, this was 2000.
He wasn't president until 2001.
This was the very first election when he was running.
Oh, so against Gore.
Right. So this was when she was trying to help me make an informed decision, and I was trying to help her make an informed decision. And she was explaining to me that when we were attacked on our own soil by Osama bin Laden, who she mentioned, that's the first time I had heard the name Osama bin Laden, was in 2000 when she name dropped that we would want Dick Cheney in office because he would pursue the son of a bitch and we'd get him. Now, never mind, we didn't get him until 12 years later when somebody else took office. All of that aside, she literally told me what was going to happen a year and a half later, and it has never, ever, ever set right with me that she had that type of scenario in advance of it going down. I've never been okay with that.
Careful, your truther is showing.
I'm just saying. When somebody who follows right-wing media to such an extreme that she does has that type of detailed information on a year and a half, and other than that, she does not follow the media. She does not follow politics.
Does she read?
Could the conspiracy be that she's well informed?
I mean, how are you so well?
I mean, Ron Paul.
Let's say
Ron
that
Paul,
I was. Let's say you and I were talking a year and a half ago, and I said,
into the mic.
"Okay, sorry." Let's say you and I were talking a year and a half ago, and I was like, "Okay, so here's the thing: you're going to want to vote for more to increase police spending because when somebody takes a pressure cooker to a Boston Marathon and blows off the legs of all these people, you're going to want more police force so that they can go all martial law on the city and find the motherfucker." And then lo and behold, it happens.
Yeah, but Ron Paul.
Boy, I'm so goddamn informed.
No, but I think if you were listening to the news, reading the right things, you'd know what Edward Snowden said. Like, Edward Snowden wasn't a surprise to me. It's not because I'm conspiratorial. It's just because I read a lot of newspapers and magazines and stuff.
The season finale of The Newsroom, the first
But if you
season was
pick
about
the
NSA
right
spying
terrorist, you
scandal.
pick the right location, and you state that.
Well, here's
it's-
why, and I'm going to let you in on it. Is a guy named Daniel Rosenberg wrote a book about that, almost that exact scenario,
Right.
And it was promoted heavily on Fox News,
Yeah.
Hannity, all those things right before the election,
Okay.
and that's where that Hannity saying so essentially a Muslim extremist, like someone like an Osama bin Laden, he was talking about that.
Okay, so he did drop that.
Yeah, and he wrote the book that almost literally.
Yeah.
That's why they call him the prophet, and then he wrote another one that actually it's about like how the end of times happens in Israel.
Yeah, Rosenberg back then was an influential conservative author, but I mean, Osama bin Laden at that time in 99, 2000, he was the coal bomber, and he basically started saying, here's what I'm going to do, and that's why Schuyler, the guy who wrote the book...
Dan Schuyler? Is that his name?
Something. Michael Scheuer is who we're thinking of, who wrote
Shuck-a-luck-a-luck.
Imperial Hubris, who was the Osama bin Laden guy.
I like that use of rhetoric.
For the he wrote it anonymously after the 9/11 attacks. He was the Osama bin Laden guy for the FBI, and he basically said, like, I was screaming at the top of my lungs that all of this stuff was going to happen and how it was going to happen and where it was going to happen because I've studied this guy since the coal bombings in '98, and no one would listen to me.
Damn.
So I think the information was out there. I think it just freaks you out because you want to believe
hate Bush.
Yeah. No, I mean, like...
I'm sorry for wanting to hate Satan. My bad.
No, I think
I rebuke the devil.
Was that a John McCain joke?
No, that's mine.
That's Cartman.
Shame on me.
Shame on you. Double shame on you.
what? Shame on
That's my all-time favorite Bush quote. We got a saying down in Texas. Fool me once. Well, shame on you.
The shamer.
Fool me twice.
And I am the decider.
Shame on me again.
I'll tell you what, though, he could have totally redeemed himself if when
He could have never fucking redeemed
in
himself.
Iraq, when the guy throws a shoe at him.
Oh, that was
if he'd have
amazing.
looked at him and gone, "Who throws a shoe?" in a British accent
throws a
all
shoe?
time, I would have just said, be king."
You get a pass.
Yep, for anything you did wrong, you get a pass.
Imperialism.
You
Welcome.
quote Austin Powers in real time, I'm all about you.
Who throws a shoe? We had a $1 billion moment
We did,
on the
two
last
tonight.
show.
2 tonight.
It's usually when Creighton's talking, we have $1 billion.
$1 billion. And then the second time he was like $1,006,000,000.
All right, so Gina, let's wrap it up, and you tell us
Oh, we're
a
wrapping.
story,
Oh.
or ask Mrs.
Okay.
Spangle a question or something.
All right. I guess a story. I debated on whether or not to tell this story, and I said I wasn't going to because it seemed like such a, I don't know, pursuing. I probably better not. I just got the no signal from Greg.
No, I'm saying don't feel bad about doing it.
Oh, really? You're saying I should do it too? All right.
I do. You owe it to the men of my and Spangle's
you-
generation. This is how you should never act.
I had a run-in.
You told everybody that you had a threesome at 9. You're worried about
Okay,
what?
but I never brought up into question the character of another human being. And if I tell this story, I'm going to put this douchebag on blast for being a douchebag. And so
just
that
don't
makes
say
me feel
names.
bad. Oh, no, of course I'm not going to say names, but I had a gentleman suitor hath approached.
Oh, you got to tell this story, and you got to get out your phone and read those text messages.
Oh, I don't know if I won't go that far, but
No, I command you. I will
I
not.
want to hear this now.
Oh,
No,
yeah, you do.
I command you.
Yes, because
As-
I've been hearing some crazy stuff at work that people are texting.
At the
stuff
pro,
people-
as the
I wanna
program
hear this.
director of the radio network, I demand that you get out your phone and you read these text messages because you let me read them on Monday night.
And we need a little
And-
past history.
all right.
Oh my!
There's not much history. I went to join a friend to watch another friend's band. I got a friend who's in a cover band, and they do a really amazing job. So I'm at a Broad Ripple this weekend and having
Mike
a
and
good
Joe?
time. Huh?
Mike and Joe? Is that who the band is?
No.
No.
Nice
Sorry.
try, though.
Autobahn?
Nope. Nice try, though.
Have
All
you
right,
heard of them?
it's the Whiskey Ninjas. Have you
Oh,
heard of
sweet,
the
yeah.
Whiskey Ninjas?
Oh,
Okay.
Mr. Clit and the pink no one knows.
Pink. That's Mr. Clinton, the pink cigarettes. So I'm out, and I got a little inebriated, let's say, and I was having a great time dancing with friends, and one of my new friends decided that I couldn't walk to my car by myself, so she basically assigned this kind of hovery guy to walk me to my car. So he walks me to my car.
What a good friend.
Hold
good
up. Was
friend.
he like a stage 5 clinger?
Not
Or
at this
creeper.
point. No,
That guy looks rapey. Let's assign him to...
Gena, have you met him?
that phrase comes in. No, this
Gena,
guy was
you're
like...
4'3" and 102 pounds.
And
What?
this guy is every bit of like damn near 7 foot tall and stocky. So I mean, this is not a small young man.
What is he, Lurch?
Greg,
No, but he's big.
to her, everyone looks big.
No, I mean he's definitely taller than you guys. There's no doubt in my mind he's over 6'2".
I have the confidence of a very
Did you
tall
know
man.
this person?
No, I met him this evening, but I meet a lot of friends that evening. No
Okay.
big deal.
Okay.
So he's walking me to my car, which is polite, and I'm not the least bit put off by that. And then he comes in for a kiss, and I'm a little inebriated, so I'm like, oh, okay, you can kiss me, but goodbye. So I hop in my car and I leave. And at some point, we had exchanged information, which when I sobered up, I was a little disappointed in myself. But there it was. And so he was like, I really want to spend some time with you. And he investigated some things, and he listened to the show, and I guess he was like investigating my Facebook, which is always charming. And he's texting me, but he's obviously very interested in pursuing something, and I'm really not there. So I'm making reference to like, hey, you know, we do have a few things in common. Perhaps we can be friends. So this goes on for a couple of days, and then he's like, is there any chance that I can see you? And I'm like, well, I'm going to be in your neighborhood, basically, to pick up keys from a friend, because I told you I was house sitting. So there's no legitimate reason why I couldn't see him. But I didn't mention that I'd have my kid with me. So anyways, he invites me over, and I'm like, well, maybe we can talk. I go over to his place, and that's where the phrase "a little rapey" comes in, because it's like a really secluded place. And he's like, I'm sorry, it looks a little rapey. That is, by the way, kids, never a good way to start out a conversation when a young lady joins you.
Hey, welcome to my home. This is my rape den. I mean, my den.
Right.
Hold on. You went to his place?
I did, because I wasn't the least bit intimidated by him. I didn't get the feeling he was going to hurt me. It was just that our personalities ended up not clashing well. And so, like, for me particularly, my children are my life. My children are everything. And this guy made reference to thinking of children like pets. And he said, you know, his last girlfriend had a couple of kids. He kind of thought of them like dogs. And then he whistled at my infant, who basically flipped him the middle finger. My 6-month-old was like, fuck you. Like, his eyebrows furled, and he was like,
Which is when my manness came out, Greg, and I said, you took your infant on a date?
It wasn't a date to me, because I was talking
awesome.
about, like,
This is so like a movie.
right?
Like Wedding
Oh,
Crashers
honey,
or something.
just you wait.
Hangover.
Wait till this movie unfurls. So anyway, he's like, next time you bring him over, I'll have a cat bed to lay him in the corner. I hand to fucking God. And I
Are
was
you
like,
effing serious?
right. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to go now. I got to get going. And he again follows me to the car. And guys, when a lady sits down and puts her keys in the ignition, she's done talking to you. There's no need for you to come in for a kiss. And so he tried to come in for a kiss. And I was trying. And I was like, well, you know, I kind of turned my head away, being polite. And then he, like, sends me this text message. And that's where Spangle Bear was, like, giggling.
Like, he whistled at her
Wow.
infant. It's like, hey.
So, I mean, I first of all have to give him props for being very straightforward
No,
and honest.
He took you on a tour of the house, and what did he say about the shower?
Yeah, when we use it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's my cue, goodbye.
Did he ever say, and it puts lotion on the skin?
Right?
Yes.
Or gets the hose again?
I'd
Right.
fuck
That
me.
would be freaking creepy.
She really knew it was time to go when he started tucking.
Yes.
OMG.
I love that picture of you, by the way, that I made.
What?
Your face on Buffalo Bill tucked.
I don't remember that,
Oh,
but
it's on Facebook.
oh,
I
well.
need to find that.
I must see this as well.
I had to dig up the old Creighton.
Do you want to fuck me? I want to fuck me.
Did you tell them that
Isolating
somebody
that?
got you cocoa butter for the wedding?
Oh, yeah. One of our wedding gifts
basket.
was my friend Matt Sosi, the film critic, who got me a basket of cocoa butter lotion. He said,
Lord.
it's funny because it's also racist.
Why are you laughing?
Because
That's
I raffs. I told you I raffs. I admitted this openly. I raps at all kinds of tasteless things.
See, the thing is with Gena, like, Gena likes you. Gena is your friend. If Gena doesn't like you, you're not going to have fun.
Not gonna have a good time.
So
If you have attempted to manipulate me or play me like a cunt, not gonna have a good time.
how does one exactly play a cunt?
Oh,
Can I take lessons?
Greg, stick around. I'll
Playing
teach
a guitar.
you. For some folks.
Is
For
that
some
the
folks.
opposite of playing a skin flute?
Yes.
I don't know. For some folks, it's mutually exclusive.
Wow.
I'm going to be a total twat, and I'll be really good at playing the skin flute. That'll be my one attribute to society, and
So-
I will be totally worth my skin.
You've now left his home.
Yeah, I have, and
And-
he's like, forgive me for. He sends me a text, thank you for coming, and I'm like, oh, thanks for inviting me. And he's like, forgive me if I misunderstood the intent of the evening, but hopefully sometime this would be something you would like. And I was like, yeah, no, you're forgiven. No big deal. I understand that would send the wrong message if somebody would want to hang out with you a second time after you hounded them repeatedly for days. However, this is not something that I am interested in pursuing. For me, there has to be a little bit of an intellectual exchange and some sort of a connection between the two of us before you're getting in my panties. And, I wish you all the best of luck getting all of the available free poontang that you can chase. First of all, go get it, big guy. Hop on that pony and go get every STD you can reach. You have fun with that.
Where is this said pony?
I mean,
Greg wants to know.
I think R. Kelly got
I didn't
one.
pee on a kid. Be quiet.
So anyway, he responds with, "Yep, that's exactly what I'm looking for," and it's like, awesome, douchebag, happy trails.
I'm in a very on Monday night at Rupert's
Wow.
Kids. She had told me the story earlier, and I'm in a very
'Cause I was
serious.
like, Chris Spangle, I cannot tell this story on the air. I have to tell you privately because I have to get it off my chest. And now we're all like 2 days later. Fuck it, just say it. Crush the little man's spirits
And
because he's
so-
not very old. Bless his heart.
I'm in a very busy moment, and there's some stuff going down, and I'm in the right in the middle, and Gena just like, hey, look at this, and then it's like, that's exactly what I was looking for. It's like, that is some funny stuff. I need to see that tweet later, but I'm busy right now.
I'm busy being angry.
We gotta help the kids.
Right?
All right, well, this has been a show.
This has been a show. I love this show. Is that a sufficient
You've said
story?
You've said a lot.
Oh, I
Perhaps.
really have. I feel like a douchebag now. See, I shouldn't have said anything.
Why? We had elementary threesomes. It's fantastic.
Well, that part, I mean...
She couldn't do algebra, but she never mind.
wow. I mean, things I could split, but I couldn't divide.
Oh, wow.
Why do people even hang out with me? Like, how do I have friends?
I'll be honest, Spangle just invited you. I never signed off on it.
You bought me
He's like-
wine.
Yeah, because you were breastfeeding, and I was like, let's get this kid drunk.
Sounds like a good idea.
I
We kid, America.
often wonder why you all hang out with me too, so it's okay.
Well, because of Samantha.
I have the equipment.
Yeah, that's right, the equipment.
I have
all
the
about the
equipment.
equipment.
I imagine there's a thread with everybody who's involved in all the podcasts. So how do
Oh,
we,
hold on. There is
how do-
one
How do
thing.
we pool enough of money to get our own equipment to get rid of him?
Exactly. I don't think anybody's in for that coup. I don't think that I can make this happen
No.
without you.
Nope.
Before we sign off, Greg Lentz, tell me a story. When did you fall in love?
When did I fall in love? I fall in love all the time.
Do you really?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
God, yeah.
He looks in the mirror every
Aw.
day.
No,
Yeah.
not then. No, I don't have any stories about it. I was in a long relationship once.
Were you in love?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Anyone I know?
Yep.
Who?
You're not saying her name on air. That's
Aw,
yep. Yep.
one of those. All right, so tell me about it a little bit. What was
Well,
it?
I-
How'd you
just
win her
differences
heart
in-
or vice versa?
I mean, it's like the high school girlfriend thing.
Oh, yeah?
You know, long time, like 6 years.
Aw, that's
Wow.
a long
But
time
I
for high
liked
school
the.
girlfriend.
She wanted like the picket fence and the 2 kids and the husband who's a dentist, and
Oh.
I'm a risk taker and like to go. You know, I traveled a lot in my 20s and like moved different places. So it
In
was
my
a bad-
20s, the man's like 27.
yeah, well, early 20s. You know, but it was just a kind of a difference in what you wanted.
All right, priorities.
Yeah, priorities.
That's a big one.
I know. I value work over just about everything, so I'm boring that
Really?
way. I do. I love working on projects.
Really?
To me, that is like my favorite thing.
Greg
That's
has
better than Poon?
No, it's not better than Poon, but it's just more fulfilling.
All right.
Greg has a whole situation that I won't get into, but it's an interesting. Like that's the thing. Like the whole. Like I'm vanilla, as Maya likes to point out to me.
You're water. Vanilla has a flavor.
Yeah. Like everybody on this podcast network lives such interesting lives. They have whole situations going on. We won't even get into Maya and her whole situation, and Emily, and you've got a situation, Gina, and
it's the
mine's not odd. It's just
report.
distance.
Yeah, you like the long distance relationship.
I do. It gives me freedom.
I could never do that. I like to have her come home every day.
Aw.
So
yeah, it's whatever does it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we still have our time apart. Like, I mean,
Yeah, we're both. She gets done with school in about a week, and then we're
Nice.
going to be together a lot.
Lucky.
When's your anniversary?
Oh, nice. Way to throw him under the bus.
No, I was just wondering.
May 7th.
Yep, there you go, honey.
She knew.
Okay, so that's
I'm the
It's on
date
that
keeper.
sign.
There's a sign.
5/7/11. So you never forget.
I thought that was like the combination to some locker in the house.
Right? That's how you get into the panty
It's
drawer.
that's get in the panic room. Yeah,
No,
perfect.
that's the combination of my chastity belt.
Oh, okay.
I would not be surprised.
Well, I hope next May 7th that someone comes up to you guys on your anniversary and goes, "I love you on We Are Libertarians," and story time with Gina.
Yeah, they'd have to like dig within the obscure annals of
Oh, yeah.
radio broadcasting to find this one.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Well, I guess that counts as a story.
I'm
wish it was a
sorry, I
better
don't have
story.
good stories. I don't.
Yeah.
No, you have good stories you don't want to talk
Yeah,
about.
he's
Yeah.
tight-fisted. We all are, though. Why do we do that? Why do we wear masks in society instead of just being open? Is it because everybody else is a douchebag and they're going to use that information against you the first second they get?
Of course, child porn maker.
Child porn.
No, I'm just
No, I think there's
Child porn offends me to my core.
I know.
I've filed a police report over child porn. I sure have.
Well,
Nice.
that's the next story time of Gina because I have
Yes,
to go
that's
to
a good
bed.
idea.
Told you guys I've had the dog shit trolled out of me online. But when child porn shows up in your feed, make a police
Oh
report.
my!
I sure did.
I think it comes down to some people like to be close guarded because of, again, Machiavelli's hierarchy of needs.
It's
So
Know your enemy.
that's a callback to the last We Are Libertarians episode, but like I think it's a matter of personal security. It's not about other people. It's about what you are able to express within your own comfort levels. There are people like you who can put everything out there, but then there are other people who are like, "Ooh, that's too intimate. I can't do that."
I see too intimate doesn't even exist. I'm like floating through the world with my heart open. I'm like, I love everybody except you. You're a douche.
You're talking about security, and all I can think about is when I called you when I was home this last week, and I'm like, there's a big guy at the door with a cane,
Oh my god!
and all I can see is the shadow and his back, and it was the fog coming on the
Holy
peephole.
shit! I would piss
I was
myself.
so freaked out.
Am I dead?
Right?
Is this the Grim Reaper?
I know. Is it
It-
my turn?
Chris, there's an old man at the door in a white shirt. Are you expecting a UPS package? Yes.
I called him at work.
But
I was
why?
so terrified.
But why would the UPS guy have a cane? I go, how do you know he has a cane? I see it through the peephole. You can't see shit through the peephole. That's the worst peephole ever. I'm scared.
I did. I was so scared.
I was
He's
like-
like, don't open the door. And I was like, it might just be the light reflecting. I was like, Maya's not coming over, is she?
That's always her first reaction is, Maya's not allowed to come over. Time off. I'm scared.
I did. I said, I'm so scared.
I'll tell you what. If
Aw.
there was ever a large man wielding a cane that I wasn't sure who it was, I would want Maya there. 'Cause
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure.
that situation would be over quick.
That situation would be handled.
Yes.
I stopped at Maya's on the way over here to have a cigarette, and I made reference to wanting to keep a shotgun at the office just for fun, and then she was discussing with me which ones would be appropriate and which ones were legal and which ones would be funny to see in my hand, and then she just whips out an arsenal. She goes into the closet, she's like, "Can you even cock one of these things?" Hands me one, and I'm like, and I kind of cocked my head like, "Now what?" And then she laughed, and then she handed me like a, I don't know, like a Zig Zauer or something, and then she was laughing at how tiny my hand looked around it, and then she hands me this tiny little Beretta that's like the size of a Derringer. It's like this big, and it's got this little pop-up thing, and it was just amazing. I had so much fun.
Maya's week was made when I told her a story about this guy. One of his office mates saw Evan out on the street and knows Evan, said, "Hey, I saw your friend Evan out on the street." And he was hanging out with this big woman, and she had a gun. She was the scariest looking woman I have ever seen in my life. That made Maya's whole week.
Life.
Like, she's a woman, she's frightening, she has a large gun. Like, that was just the best.
That does kind of wet Maya's panties.
Maya was moist. So, all right, well, we got to wrap this up.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate you hanging out. Sorry we kept it so personal and intimate this time, but that's what happens when we bring Miss Spanglebear in. Next time we'll do something like education, or I don't know. That was a really long show too. Maybe we'll talk about pork chops next week. But if you guys have any requests, hit me up online. You know how to get a hold of me. And if for any reason you need a celebrity endorsement from Rupert Bonham, go ahead and find me and let me know, because we would love to let him assist you in your
I don't know about you,
endeavors.
But I was praying she was saying if you needed a celebrity endorsement from Gena Martinez.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
hoping
you
that
get
was
the Buddy
happening.
Christ pose and everything.
I was praying that was going to happen.
Yeah, we got an app for that. I like. Anyway, so join us again next time. Probably not next week, though, because I'm going to Boston.
Yeah.
And to have sexy, sexy time. I might go to, like, Niagara. I might even just stop off with your kinfolk in Canada, but I don't know.
Oh.
Burn. I might mount a mountie. All right, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
I'm staying here with some friends, and they've got lots of room.